This is Polk Payton, and I'm coming to you with my blog number 23. This blog is going to be entitled Clarification. I needed to make a little clarification on a couple of things. I have been doing a lot of traveling over the past week, and one of my stops was in the Golden Triangle in Northeast Mississippi, and I did some book signings there, and I was a speaker and a presenter at a singles conference there, and I was talking about some of the contents of my book. And during that time, I had some situations come up, some questions from men. Men ask the difficult questions, which I love because it makes my mind expand as to their perspective. Like I told you before, men don't tell me their problems. Women tell me their problems because men, they don't like to tell women, they deal with their problems in different ways. Some men internalize, some men go to strip clubs, some men go drinking with their buddies, some men go fishing, some men go hunting, some men go and, do other things that men deal with their emotions in different ways. Women, we talk to each other and we get it all out, we vent. And so, but anyway, so one guy at lunch, he was asking me, he was like, well, I don't understand why are you single? And I said, because I ain't got a man. Of course I was being a smart aleck, but the fact that I'm single, means that I'm not in a relationship. So that's why I'm single. The reason why I have not committed myself to a relationship is because I believe that when God is ready for me to have the man he's keeping for me, he will send him to me, because he knows that there's a special kind of man who's going to have to be able to deal with this mouth, and who will know how to lovingly harness my strengths to be used to undergird him as he leads me through life, rather than beat me down and try to take my strength away. He's going to have to know who he is. He's going to have to be the kind of man who knows who he is, and not be intimidated in any shape, form, or fashion, even if his wife is President of the United States or United States Supreme Court Justice. So I'm waiting for him, and whenever I meet him, I'm not going to freak out about it. Sometimes it gets hard being by myself all the time, especially the summer conference. Everybody brings their family, everybody brings their husband, and it's just like my baby had football practice all week because football season starts in just a few weeks, and so he had football practice, so he couldn't come down here with me, so I was here by myself all week. And so that gets difficult sometimes, but it's just a part of the process. And I know that I'm in process. I know I'm in the process of God preparing me for something different in my life, and so that's gonna require some alone time. It's gonna require me to not try to fill my space with any Tom, Dick, or Larry that comes along just so I won't be by myself. I have to learn how to be by myself, and learn how to be whole and be one with God and be whole by myself, so that I will be able to compliment my man when I meet him, more so than him trying to complete me, because I'm not whole by myself and he's not whole by himself. So anyway, so another guy in one of the classes that I was presenting in told me that he felt that my independence information conflicted with my blog, where I gave the women the 5 S's on how to be a participant in a successful relationship. And I explained it to him. I think after I finished explaining it, that he understood, but because of the fact that he didn't understand it, I felt the need to present it to you so that you would understand where I was going with that, and what it was that he misunderstood. He said that the independence information that I gave conflicted with the submission part of my, my 5 S's for women. But it doesn't conflict. It's just a different perspective. Men have to be understanding of women who are used to taking care of things themselves. My father died more than 18 years ago, 2 weeks before I graduated from law school, and my mother died 17 months later when I was 2 months pregnant with my son. So I'm just used to doing things on my own. I've been divorced for 7 years, and I've been without parents for almost 20. So I'm just used to doing things on my own. So I don't tell people my problems. And so when I meet the man for me, he's going to have a little bit of understanding about the fact that I'm used to doing it on my own. And so it's going to take a little longer for me to just hand over the reins to him. I've been keeping it in the road by myself, so it's like I'm not gonna just willingly and readily hand over the reins to somebody who might drive me off a cliff, or who might drive me into the ocean or into a ditch. So if I've been keeping it in the road, I'm not going to just jump into something and just jump into submission to a man that I'm not sure, if I'm not sure, especially if I'm not sure that he is submitted to God. That's why, you know, it's so important to get to know somebody. You know, I understand about the whirlwind romances, and you fall in love and you're in love with somebody in 2 months, but you don't know in 2 months what, you know, you haven't checked this person's credit report, their criminal background, their NCIC report, their AAA. You haven't had an opportunity to know these things about it. You don't know if they have 3 children. She might have 3 children that live with her mama because she can't get her life together enough to take care of them herself. This is all a part of the attractive nuisance doctrine that I talked about in my book. You can see something that looks good to you. You know, this tall, corn-fed man comes in a bar and you see him. He's an attractive nuisance because underneath the surface is danger. There's this man who might be a woman beater. You don't know this because you're all caught up in his charm. You're caught up in his good looks. You don't know that he has a sampler platter of women back at his house that resembles Golden Corral, and he quickly replaces one menu item with another as soon as one is depleted. You don't know this. Men, you see this woman walk in, she has this $5,000 weave in her head, and then she's walking and she got this bad banging body, but you don't know that she has 10 credit cards that are maxed out. And so she could pay for that weave, and so she could pay for those nice clothes and pay for that body and all the things that go along with that. You don't know that. You don't know that she has 3 children living with her mama because she can't get her life together enough to take care of them herself. You don't know that. You are attracted to that nuisance, and you don't see the nuisance because the nuisance is underneath the surface. That's and that's one of the PSAs in my book, because I likened the attractive nuisance doctrine, wherein a child or someone who is too naive to appreciate the danger of something, see something that they see as fun, like a swimming pool, sand pit, or, you know, logs, or timber that they can climb up and play on, but they don't see the danger that timber could fall, that they could sink in a sinkhole underneath that sand, that they could drown in that pool. They don't see the danger that's attached to it. And that's the same way we have to think when we're dating. We have to give ourselves a chance to get to know somebody, and give ourselves a chance to know that this person has my best interest at heart, and that they're not going to squander this opportunity that I've given them with me. So, you know, and it's just like all the love in the world, all the chemistry in the world is not going to save you in a relationship where there's no consistent communication, honesty, and respect. Those 3 things will tank a relationship with all the love in the world. So just make sure that you're consistent, and that you're consistently honest, consistently respectful of each other, that you are consistently that you consistently communicate with each other. Because if you're not communicating, if the person doesn't understand where they stand with you because of the fact that you are vague and arbitrary and abstract with the things that you say to them, then they're going to sooner or later either leave, or they're going to make the wrong assumption about where they are in the relationship with you, and it's going to cause problems for you and for them down the road. So just make sure that, you know, consistent communication, respect, and honesty, those things are a must in any relationship. And if a woman is going to get to the point where she's willing to give up some of her independence in order to submit to her man's authority, then she's going to have those things coming from her man. Consistent communication, respect, and honesty. Just remember that. Remember those things, guys and girls. Remember those things. Communication, respect, and honesty on a consistent basis is what you're going to need to get you to the next level of your relationship. And guys, once a woman gets to that point, then she'll be willing to give up some of her independence and move more toward submission. And this is where it comes to meeting each other halfway. A man has to understand a woman's independence, especially when she's been independent and taking care of herself as long as I've been taking care of myself. And then a woman has to understand her requirement that if she's going to be with a man, then she's going to have to submit to his authority while he's being led by God. You're going to have to be led by your man while he's being led by God. I was talking to one of my sorority sisters at the nail shop one day, and she was telling me that she and her fiance kept bumping heads. And I told her, I said, well, you know you're wrong, right? And she was like, what? You know, and it's just like me, I go in on men so much that women think sometimes that I'm going to agree with them when they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I believe that love is a two-way street. Everybody has to do their part. The reason that I don't have a man is because I have not met a man yet who seems to me that he's illustrating to me during the preliminary phases of the relationship. He's not demonstrating to me that he is going to do his part. And I know how well I do my part. And so I'm not going to jump into something with somebody if he's giving me indications that he's not willing to do his part. So I told her that she was wrong because she was engaged to this man. I said, if you don't trust him to lead, love, protect, and provide for you, then you don't need to marry him. I said, just go ahead and give him the ring back and go on back and live by yourself. because you can't go into a marriage thinking that you're gonna go in there running things, because I'm not in control of my life. I don't run things in my household because of the fact that I want to run things in my household. I run things in my household because I do not have a leader. I am the leader in my household. I am the empress. I am the queen, because I am the only grown-up in my household. And because of that, I have to be in control. So the man who finds me is going to have to understand that it's going to take a little time before I will give up my independence. I'm willing to give it up. I'm ready to give it up. But at the same time, it's, everything, when you do things over and over again, a practice becomes a habit after you've done it for a little while. And so after I've gotten an opportunity to do it a little while, and I'm shown by you that you have my back no matter what, then I will give up a little bit of that independence. That independence will start to diminish day by day. And I will be meeting you. I have to understand that I have to elevate my submission while he understands that I am in the process of trying to deplete my independence. And then they will meet together, and then we'll have harmony. So there's no contradiction if both parties understand the need to deal with these issues. Women, we have to understand our requirement to submit to a man who is being led by God. Guys, you have to understand a woman's independence when she's been doing it by herself for so long. So when those two things converge, you will have a good relationship between two people who understand what is needed to make the relationship a success. And the things that are needed to make a relationship a success, any relationship, whether it's a relationship with your child, a relationship with your baby daddy who you're raising a child with, together, if y'all are raising a child together, you have to understand these requirements: communication, respect, and honesty. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to be honest with each other. Otherwise, everything is going to fall apart. You can't sugarcoat the truth. You can't try to spare anybody's feelings. If you're not interested in someone, then tell them, I'm not interested in dating you. I'm not interested in knowing you any better than I know you now. Be brutally honest if you must. If the person is not getting the hint, if you told them that you don't think you're compatible to date and they're still trying to form a relationship with you, then let them understand, you're barking up the wrong tree. This is not going to happen. It's going to save you some heartache, going to save them some heartache, and maybe stop you from having some kind of fatal attraction going on. And somebody might want to take you out because you've misled them. Don't mislead people. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. The little bit that you could get from them in the form of money, in the form of sex, in the form of anything that you might be able to get from somebody that you're misleading, in the long run, it will not be worth it when you end up sacrificing your life or your limbs or whatever that person is willing to take away from you because of the fact that you broke their heart. So be honest. Honesty, respect, and communication. That will take you a long way in relating to any person, whether it's professionally, personally, whether it's in a parental way, or whether it's in a relationship with someone of the opposite sex. So anyway, I think that was really all I wanted to talk about. But the main thing, in order to do those things though, guys and girls, you're going to have to grow up. You have to leave the high school games in high school. When you're an adult, you deal with each other as adults. If you want a relationship, you tell the person, I'm ready for something real, and I'm not willing to play the dating game anymore. And just tell them, just be honest. And then, if that's something, if somebody tells you that, and then you're not ready for that kind of relationship, tell them, I'm not looking for a relationship, so I don't think we're compatible today. Just be honest. Be honest about what you want. It's not rocket science. It's just honesty. It's the golden rule of everything. You just be honest about what you're doing, and be honest with yourself, be honest with the other person, and you will save yourself so much drama, and you will save that other person a lot of heartache from thinking that they had a chance with you when you know good and well that they ain't had no chance with you. I tell them up front that find another goal in life, because this is not going to happen for you. I don't say it that mean, but that's the thought process behind it, because you have to free that person so that they can be free to go and be with somebody who actually wants to be with them. So anyway, I will do another blog probably on Monday, because I'm going to be in New York on Sunday, and so my flight leaves Sunday evening, and I won't get back to Mississippi until late. So I probably won't do my blog until Monday for Sunday. But I hope that y'all have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend, and that you're safe, and that you take care of yourself, and you remember the importance of consistent honesty, respect, and communication. And ladies and guys, remember, independence goes down as you build trust. Independence goes down, submission goes up. Okay? All right. Y'all have a great weekend.